Hey, welcome back. Steve AZ 711 here. Well, I've got my two ugly old grease guns out and I'm going to attempt to lube Ole Blu today. Here we go. So today I'm going to find how many grease fittings I can grease on this 1987 Ford. I've never done it on this truck, so it should be an interesting to try and find them and see if I can get grease in them. When you're working out in Mother Nature's climate controlled garage like I do most of the time, a piece of cardboard is really handy for laying on, especially if the ground is damp. And you can slide around on it pretty nice too. For greasing, nice grease gun, wire brush for cleaning the Zerk fittings off that get hardened grease on them, and a couple rags and a pair of old gloves, and it's about all you need. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing I notice is that I probably want to go in from the front side of the truck so I can get to the steering linkage to grease and maybe see something around the kingpins. I don't know. We'll take a look. Did I say kingpins earlier? Maybe I was thinking about my 1977. These are just ball joints, and there's no grease fittings on these, so I would suspect if they were replaced, the replacements may have had grease fittings on them, so I don't know. Could they be the original? They sure look good if they are. Anyway, found a fitting here, and one on the back side of here, and one here. What do they call this? The Pitman arm, maybe? Sorry for the wobble. And then, of course, on the other side, one at the wheel. And that looks to be all there is up front. So I suppose we'll start with this one right here. Okay. What I like to do is get the old grease off. Alrighty, then you don't want to force dirt into the joint. Cleaning that Zerk fitting off is always a good idea, rather than just popping the grease gun connector over the top of that. The other thing you want to do is push a little grease out the end of the grease gun. Just in case there was any dirt in there, you wouldn't be forcing it in either. Now, the most trouble I have with these things is getting the gun to get on there and stay on there. The fitting, and that one looks like it stayed on. Now when you pump the handle, which is right here, grease will fill up the cup here. Now what I like to do is, if I see the cup bulge, then I usually stop. A lot of times people just wait till it oozes out the side here, but that just destroys the seal. Now I've got pressure. Okay, I can see it just expanding, and you can see it oozing out right there a little bit. So I'll zoom in, maybe you can see that. See how the grease is oozed out around there? That one's done. This is probably where it had oozed out before when they last person greased it. Okay, one down. Okay. This one not need a wire brush. Okay, when you go a whole bunch of pumps and you're not getting anything, it's really either out of grease or it's coming out somewhere that you can't see. I've done that before. I'm giving it a second or two here. God, that is a lot of grease going somewhere. No, it's not up there. There it is. Okay, wow. That one was needing some, no doubt. Like I said, I like to see the cup expand, but I think these cups have seen better days. All right, now, this one's always a fun one, the next one. Especially when you get in a tight spot. I think I got enough room in this. You pop that grease gun fitting on. Okay, I felt it gone there. Let's see if we can see any grease come out of this one. Sometimes you can hear it too. I'm right on top of the camera. I hope I'm not yelling into it. Another long-winded one. Maybe I better check. Okay, that's coming out on the back side, so that one's done. You can't see it. They'll do that to you. If you're sitting there pumping and pumping, and all of a sudden grease starts dropping down on you, stop. You're there. Those are guinea fowl, and they are annoying most of the time. They lay nice brown eggs. I want to say they're native to Africa. They like the heat, of course. They don't like the cold, and they are great property watchers, because if they see something out of the ordinary, all they do is go crazy with their squawking. And most of the time they're just plain annoying, but I like them. When these things are around, you know you're never alone. Alrighty, let's see if we can get some grease in this guy. I can see a little bit starting to come out right here, and a little bit right there. Okay, while I was under here, I decided to check the four-wheel drive line from the transfer case. Move it back and forth and up and down, and it's pretty sturdy there. I was able to get my grease fitting on the front one and give it some grease. I very rarely use the four-wheel drive, but I feel confident I got enough grease in there. Should I have to, it should be sufficient. So what I'm going to do next is try and get that fitting on the back end of the U-joint of this same shaft here. I don't believe I can get my grease gun on that. I have tried, but I'll try again. And if you may have noticed, my grease gun, I have taken that fitting off and I have ground it down a little bit for fitting into tight places like this, because I've run across this before, and I don't know, I might have to take it down some more for this one. We'll see. It's just so close.
Loss of service.
That's my cell phone, it loses service. Okay, I'm gonna see if that'll hold. Hang on. I really can't say that I feel good about this fitting. I don't believe I got anything in that one, but I might have to find a smaller adapter to get into that. I'll come back on it later. So I'm mainly concerned about the main drive line from the tranny. I just hope I can get to it. So we're going to move on back to that now. Yeah, this back one doesn't look to be much better. I notice it's a little wet right here. Probably a future repair coming up, but not right away. It is not dripping, it's just damp. And I've been putting some pretty heavy loads on it myself, so it's been under a little stress. I'm going to try and get my gun on this fitting after I clean it up. The reason for getting this grease off of here is it allows the connector on the end of the grease gun to clamp on. Oh, I got on there. I don't know. Seems like a... Oh no, don't fall over on me. Okay, here we go. There goes my phone again. I'm just going to pump till I hear some crackling and see some grease. Okay, I see a little grease. It's coming out the back side of the top one, and there's a little bit right here. So that I believe these you want to see a little grease come out the sides on. And that did take a little bit, so I feel good about that one. Well, where there's supposed to be a grease fitting, a Zerk fitting, there's nothing but a plug.
Loss of service.
There it is. So I've got a plug where there should have been a Zerk fitting. Somebody failed to install one. So now I have to find one. And I don't know what size it is, but I'll have to pull that plug out and find some Zerk fittings first. I don't... like to grease that. I can. Don't really feel any play in the bearing. Okay, I'm going to have to find some Zerk fittings, and then I'm going to pull this plug and see if I have one that'll match. And if I do, I'll put it in. But that's going to be another video. For now, I'm going to have to call it a day on this. And this is Steve AZ711 saying thanks for watching and bye for now. So you can see it bulge. Don't tell me I got a gun here that don't have any grease in it. I'm gonna say this is Steve AZ711 saying, okay, I'm gonna have to pull that plug and find a fitting. Okay, I think it just had air in it. It feels awful heavy to be empty. Okay.